Well, it's Thursday, and you all know what that means. Well, in TNA, a lot of things have taken place. Joe Hendry makes his second title defense against Jake something. But the real question is, can he become an actual fighting champion? That's going to be a very, very interesting match to look into. We even got the TNA Knockouts World Championship also on the line. And then, of course, Josh Alexander has his final match in TNA. And then, of course, Ring of Honor, as you probably can know, they are on the Jericho Cruise having a time of their life. So that's going to be a lot of fun to review. But first things first, we're going to be reviewing as well the Seattle-based promotion DEFY Wrestling with their latest event that took place back on the 7th of February, 100th, which is the 8-year anniversary show. We do have title matches taking place, the tag team titles, the women's title, and the world title on the line as well. And then we cap up our episode with some news updates to give you guys updates on what's been happening in the world of pro wrestling, such as what events the promotions are thrown out, who's booked, what matches are set, including developments that are happening in the world of pro wrestling as we speak. So, let's get ready for another episode of Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Hey everybody, welcome to Deleted Wrestle Zone, all things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, TNA, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J-Rod here. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is a channel where we do a lot of pro wrestling reviews from various promotions, not only here in the United States, but also in Japan, Mexico, Canada, Europe, the UK, anywhere in the world pro wrestling is not as big, but it continues to grow. We also, of course, do discussion videos, talk about various topics such as the wrestlers themselves, the promotions, factions, storylines, whatever we want to talk about. We also, of course, do more news updates. If certain information was unable to be on this episode, we can either put it on the next one or on a separate video by itself. We also, of course, got real-timing news updates to keep you guys on alert if something has happened in the world of pro wrestling that needs to be addressed ASAP. We also, of course, got the United States Watch and various other cool wrestling content as well. So if you like what you see, please subscribe to us or click on that subscribe button. You'll be getting a lot of daily reviews and other cool wrestling content as well. But if you like this episode, please give us a like on the like button or a nice comment in the description down below. Now, all introductions have been said. It's time, of course, to fly like an angel. So let's begin with our very first review, and this is from the Seattle-based promotion, DEFY Wrestling. Okay, DEFY Wrestling, it's been a while or a minute since I actually made one of these reviews. If you guys are new in this channel, don't know what DEFY Wrestling is, this is a promotion based out of Seattle. You had wrestlers that actually been there, mostly from AEW, like Darby Allin, Swerve Strickland, Aubrey Edwards, who actually ref there too, and a few others, that you may have recognized. So it's one of those good promotions. I even find that they are one of the hottest promotions based out of Seattle. So that practically, of course, sets the whole thing up. But this is their 8th anniversary, so if you guys are not familiarized with this promotion, go check them out. I think you may have the DEFY on demand or wherever you guys can watch it at. But, however, let's get started with our very first match, and this was back on the 7th of February. Our first match is a ladder match, 6-man ladder match, where we have, of course, the DEFY World Tag Team titles on the line. We have Los Desperados, consisting of Gringo Loco, Aries, and Latigo, taking on the Silver Ring, consisting of Evan Rivers, Judas Ikra, and Travis Williams. Now you may recognize Judas Icarus and Travis Williams. You may know them as either in the Independents as the Saint and Sinner, and of course in TNA as the Northern Armory. So yeah, they're in this match. So you probably can guess how ladder matches are. They're gonna use ladders as the weapon and whatever they can get their hands on. But in the end, it was Judas Icarus who was able to pull down the tag team titles, and just like that, the Sovereign remain as champions. Now, we did see a return from someone who also has been in on the five before, and that is, of course, Ricochet. And of course, he was wearing that one suit that he took from Prince Nana that was part of the embassy many years ago. And of course, he showed up, and of course, people were booing him and all that. But later, Swiss Strickland showed up, and so is Prince Nana, sending a direct message to him. So basically, there's that. So as you can tell, that the rivalry from AEW has made their way all the way to DEFY Wrestling. So it's no joke, folks. They sometimes do that. Our next match, we have the Bollywood boys, Gerv and Harv, and of course C4, which is Cody Chun and Guillermo Rosas. This was a pretty good match, not gonna lie. But however, this match ended with, of course, we're not sure what happened. It seemed like Gerv applied a low blow, but in a different way, where the ref did not actually saw it clearly, but he used it as a way to apply the schoolboy, and just like that, the Bollywood boys walk away with the win. But during the post match, they decided to give C4 a beatdown by sending a direct message. I'm sure C4 will definitely get the retribution towards them. That's only a matter of when. Our next match, we have Marcus Mathers taking on the Prince of the Pacific Northwest. We're talking about Nick Wayne. Yes, folks, Nick Wayne also makes his presence known, despite the fact that he's signed with AEW. So basically, he is one of the most popular. But man, this match was crazy. Even, of course, Marcus Mathers applied Wayne's World as well. But of course, no one does it better than Nick Wayne. And that's exactly what he did. He applied that, but he did not put him away with that. It only gave him the opportunity to apply the Canadian Destroyer, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Now, our next match, we have the second of the championship matches. We have the DEFY Women's World Title. Zamaya makes her attempt for this belt against Marina Shafir. Yes, folks, the same Marina Shafir with the Death Riders is also in this match, and she's the champion. But this match, I wasn't too fond of it. But this match ended, of course, with Marina applying the mother's milk, and just like that, it was over by submission. Now, our next match is a Seattle street fight, but however, this one had a special guest referee. If you guys don't know who that special guest referee, well, I'll tell you who it is. I am the official. That's right, folks. Is Aubrey Edwards. She is the referee in this match, and it's no joke. As I said before, she has refereeing experience with DEFY Wrestling before becoming part of the AEW referee corps. But it's cool to see her. But who's involved in the street fight? We have the bad boy, Joey Janela, taking on Cobra Kai's very own Stingray, Paul Walter Hauser. So, yes, there was a lot of mayhem that took place. There was this board that Joey Janela brought with mouse traps and Legos. And, of course, there were a lot of interesting toys that they used. But, however, it was Hauser, or should I say just Stingray, that won this match by applying the house arrest. And just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over from there. Our next match, we have a bit of a rivalry that's been going on for quite some time. I haven't been keeping up, but that's exactly what this was going on, according to the commentators. We have Midnight Heat, Eddie Pearl and Ricky Gibson taking on American Guns, I think, with the K. They take on Ethan HD and Mike Santiago. So, of course, the story is these guys had a long-standing rivalry, and you ask yourself, will American Guns get the retribution? Well, they did when they applied this thing called the 3-5-7 onto Gibson, and it was Santiago who picked up the win, just like that. Now, our next match is the DEFY World Championship match. We have Absolute Ricky Starks taking on Kenta. Now, this is probably the reason Kenta was. This might be my probably the last time we see Kenta involved, due to the fact that, of course, we all know what happened. Those who know this, on my recent news updates on the episodes, where now Kenta rejoined Noah as part of the roster. But it was an absolute good match. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty good, and it was Ricky Starks who walked away with the win. With he applied the Rochambeau, becoming the DEFY World Champion. So that's pretty much it. Now, some of you may ask me this, since this happened recently on the 7th, does this mean he has to drop the belt if he's going to be making his appearances with NXT? Most likely, that is the possibility. We just don't know exactly how the negotiations are going. We don't know for sure if he will be signed or not. I'm sure that WWE has their sights on him, which is obvious. We're not gonna deny that, but we'll see how things will roll up. Now, I think that's pretty much it. What we have with DEFY Wrestling. Let's move on with TNA. Okay, TNA. It opened up with the TNA World Championship on the line. Joe Hendry makes his second defense against Jake Something. Now, of course, we cannot deny that Jake Something is a big bad dude, that he would do whatever it takes to get that title as much as possible. But however, Joe Hendry has to prove himself that he is a fighting champion, and that's exactly what he needs to do. But it was the standing ovation by Hendry that allowed him to 1, 2, 3, just like that, retain the belt. But all of a sudden, in the post match, we did see Ryan Mendez once again decide to stir something with Joe Hendry, telling him that he is not a fighting champion. Now, Santino Marella was trying to keep the peace, trying to tell him this is not the time and place to do that. And then things got a little haywire when Nick Bennett shows up when Jake Something was about to stir something. But this is where things got a little too chaotic. Nick Bennett accidentally super kicked Santino Marella, and just like that, it got it. But in the backstage, Santino understood it was an accident, but however, he cannot let this one go, knowing too well that this got at hand. So he told him that he is suspended for 4 weeks without pay. But Ryan Mendez felt, hell no, man, suspend Joe Hendry. He started this, but Nick was not having it. He was not having it with his brother. Basically, he knows this is not Joe Hendry's fault. He wasn't the one who super kicked him. But Nick Bennett decided, look, if that's what you're saying I should do, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Of course, Ryan Bennett said he's going to hold up the fort. Of course, I'm sure for the next 4 weeks, Ryan Bennett is going to do whatever it takes to get his hands on Joe Hendry, no matter what. Now, our next match, we have, of course, the mannequins themselves, Ash by Elegance and Heather, involved with the Queen Bees, Danny B, and Charity King of things. That's what they call. But man, you can tell this was a pretty good match. I have to say, the fact that the King Bees were not part of the roster, I wish they could. They really impressed me a bit. But it was, of course, Ash by Elegance that picked up the win, and just like that, it was over. 1, 2, 3. But however, they decided to give a little makeover to the King Bees, but Spitfire decided to teach them a lesson, to show them that this is not the place to do things like that. Now, as you know, last week we saw Leon Slater teaming up with the Hardys, so he thanked them for a time of his life, showing that he has fulfilled his dream, teaming up with the GOATs, guys that he influenced. And of course, Jeff gave him props, like seeing the Swanton 450 was awesome, but you cannot deny the OG Swanton bomb. So, but Leon Slater did say that if you guys believe in me, I won't let you down. And that's exactly what he needs to do. Now, as you know, Mustafa Ali just returned and decided to do a somewhat version of JBL, but much of a different way, calling it the Cabinet. So he has John Schuyler and Jason Hodge, formerly known as the Good Hands, now going by the Great Hands, and of course, Press Secretary Tasha Steeles. And then here he's saying that he's going to lead TNA into the future. Tommy Dreamer shows up. Now, he wasn't going to say anything like, oh, I'm the guy who's going to lead to the future. It's like, is that what you're going to do? I didn't say it was going to be me. Then who? he looked in Santana. He's like, him. Santana was just on his phone, checking his phone. He's like, what? It's more like Mike Santana had no idea what was going on. He was just minding his own business. And of course, Mustafa Ali was livid. I mean, he probably would say Mike Santana is a delinquent. He doesn't deserve to lead TNA. So we'll see about that. Now, our next match, we have Frankie Kazarian taking on Sami Callihan. This match, well, it became a messed up situation. Sammy was attacked by Mance Warner, but this match ended quickly with, of course, with distractions with Mance Warner and Steph DeLanders when, of course, he applied the chicken wing. And then once again, Sammy decided that this thing between him and Mance is far, far from over. Now, Gia Miller conducts an interview with Josh Alexander. As you all know, this was his last official match with TNA, so he's going to go out if he has to, so we'll see where that goes. Now, as you all know, Leon Slater has been on the sites of Frank Kazarian and the system. Now, JDC thinks that, Leon, you're making a mistake. You have to learn from us. We are the ones who can guide you better. But Leon Slater's like, I don't need you at all. So basically, that's what this mess was happening. Basically, Leon doesn't need them, because we know JDC is nothing but a moron. Now, our next match, we have Xia Brookside versus Cora Jade. Now, as you all know, Cora Jade has her sight on the TNA Knockouts World Title. Now, of course, you probably can guess that this match was going to fall in favor of Cora Jade. You're absolutely right. When she applied Jaded, and just like that, it was over. But, of course, Masha Slamovich showed up, no matter what. Now, Ariana Grace decided to have a little talk with Tessa Blanchard. Now, of course, Tessa's been telling people she does not answer to no one. But Santino Marella, well, I have to say the guy have a lot of guts to yell at Tessa, tell her if you do not be in a match, then there will be repercussions. He doesn't care if he's going to fire her or suspend her or whatever. So, I have to say, Santino, watch out for your blood pressure. Now, as you know, the Rascals have one thing in their minds, and that is, of course, Wes Lee. So Wes Lee, as you know, has once again got into the business of the Rascals. The reason this happened was Wes Lee said weeks ago that the Rascals have no business whatsoever challenging for the NXT tag team titles. He felt that those titles are meant for Igwe and DuPont. And then, of course, it became an interesting war, but Ace Austin even came into the fray. But things got out of control. Now, we did see a little video promo from First Class saying that TNA will have an upgrade. Now, I don't know what he meant by that, but we'll see. Now, our main event is the TNA... No, not a main event. Our semi-main event, we have the TNA Knockouts World Title. Savannah Evans versus Masha Slamovich. Man, Savannah was really, really giving her all, trying to put her down as much as possible. But towards the end, it was Masha who walked away with the win with a very small package, a package power driver, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, retain the belt. Our main event is Eric Young versus Josh Alexander. Of course, this was going to be interesting. However, there were moments of some technical aspects in this match, but in the end, it was Eric Young that actually walked away with the win with the pile driver, and just like that, it was over. Now, I'm sure there's going to be exclusive content thanking Josh Alexander for being there and all that. We still don't know where's he going to go. We don't know if WWE has any interest in him or not. So we'll see where that goes from there. But for now, we'll end things here with TNA and move on with Ring of Honor. Okay, Ring of Honor. As you probably know already, they're at the Jericho Cruise. That's right, the Chris Jericho Rock and Wrestling Rager at Sea. So we have seen AEW do a Rock and Rager before, but now it's Ring of Honor's chance. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So let's begin with the match. It opened up with Mason Madden taking on Jay Lethal. However, If you guys remember recently, Mason Madden attacked Sammy Guevara and he took his tag team belt. And guess what? Madden decided to say that he is the tag team champion. Boo! Nope, he stole it, folks. So sooner or later, he's going to get it back. But you cannot deny Jay Lethal when he switched back to his black machismo. Ooh, yeah. That's right. You cannot deny that. But of course, Jay Lethal took him out with the elbow drop, and just like that, uno, dos, tres, adios. Now, our next match, we have Space Jesus, Billy Starks versus Harley Cameron. Now, I think some of you might have thought just by watching this match, you would think, okay, Billy Starks is the Ring of Honor star here. Yes, maybe so. But you got to give more spotlight to Harley Cameron. As you all know, she has a big match coming up this Saturday in Brisbane, Australia. And I thought that would be a perfect opportunity. I wasn't too sure, but this match, you would have thought Billy Starks was going to win this one. No, it was Harley Cameron with the crucifix, and just like that, it was over. Now, I wouldn't be surprised by any means necessary that Athena will laugh in her face, telling her, you couldn't even beat a psychotic person who has screws loose. So, I would expect that possibly next week. Now, our next match, we have the AEW International Championship. Konosuke Takeshita defends the belt against someone he has faced before, and that is, of course, Dynamite Kid Tommy Billington. So it was, you can tell this match was good because of Billington. He is the nephew of the late what's his name, Dynamite Kid, and just like that, it was amazing. But however, it was Konosuke Takeshita with the Blue Thunder Bomb. 1, 2, 3. It was done. Now, our next match, we have the Outrunners taking on the Grizzled Young Vets. You know the Grizzled Young Vets will say they are the best tag team. And of course, the Outrunners, they're trying to be the best tag team they can be. And that's exactly what they were trying to do. But of course, it doesn't mean that, of course, the JYV will not do whatever it takes to win. They would make sure it falls in their favor. Even what's his name, Drake used his little scarf onto Turbo, but it did not work properly. But Drake unfortunately ended up on the wrong side of Total Recall by Turbo, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Now, earlier in the week, we did see a video interview between Queen Aminata and Serena Deeb. It appears that tensions between them has risen, so Serena Deeb decided, let's do a pure rules match. Well, looks like it's going to happen. Our next match, we have Serpentico taking on Ricochet. I have to say, I didn't think this match was going to go long as it did because I thought Ricochet was going to take him out completely, and maybe in maybe less than a minute or maybe more. Who knows? But it went long as possible, but it was, of course, Ricochet with the spirit gun that allowed him to pick up the win. Now, our main event is the ROH World Television Title. Commander defends his belt against Nick Wayne. Now, luckily, of course, the so-called patriarchy was not in this match, thank God. But you can tell the Commander was able to retain the belt when he applied the shooting star press, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, over. Just like that. Now, I think that's pretty much it what we have for Ring of Honor. Let's move on with some news updates. Okay, so welcome to our news updates. So let's begin with GCW. They announced that Zack Sabre Jr. makes his return to the promotion. He has a 2-day event on March 1st in LA, and of course March 2nd in Phoenix, Arizona. So basically, he's already scheduled for 2 days. Now, Canadian promotion Maple Leaf Pro will have their upcoming event, 2-day event, Mayhem, in Ontario, Canada. The 14th and the 15th of March. They just announced the Nomad Bishop Dyer, or as we knew him as WWE superstar, Baron Corbin. That's right, he'll be making his next appearance in this promotion. Now, House of Glory for their City of Dreams on the 15th of March. They just announced uh, Eddie Guerrero's eldest daughter, Shawl, will be making her appearance there, but for meet and greets only. So if I have any subscribers who are from the New York area and you're planning to attend, well, now you get to meet the daughter of the late Eddie Guerrero, his daughter, Shawl Guerrero. Oh, yeah, and she's also married to Matthew Renwald, who is a commentator in TNA. So just to let you guys know. Now, West Coast Pro will have the West Coast on the 22nd of March. There's going to be a number one contendership for the West Coast Pro World Title. We have Royce Ice versus the Heavyweight Hustle, Calvin Tankman. Major League Wrestling has announced for their Battle Royale that will take place on the 5th of April in LA. Donovan Dijak, or as we know him, Dominic Dijakovic, or just simply Dijak, will be making his entry. For the Las Vegas shows happening on the same day, on the 17th of April, first we have Prestige Wrestling with Nothing to Lose. The current Prestige Tag Team Champions, Ultra Power, Jaden, I forgot his tag team partner's name, will be appearing. And then, of course, we have the Marvelous event. Ea Hausen will be making her appearance too, and I think this will be her first time being in the U.S., so we'll see how things will roll out. Now, and on to our developments. Now, recently someone posted a photo of Lance Anou'i. If you guys know him, he's a member of the Inoue family, like The Rock, um, Jay, Jimmy, Rikishi, shaking hands with, of course, of with Shawn Michaels. So basically, there's that. So we may see another member of the Anou'i family also making their appearance. Later, it was confirmed that Tyler Breeze is now working as a writer for NXT. So yeah, so he's working with them now. Good news. Now, as you all know, Chris Bey, who's been out of action since October, well, he started walking again. There's been videos and updates, so he's doing really, really good. We don't know when he'll be making his return, but uh, we are hoping and praying that he will be 100%. I'm sure he's getting all the necessary help and cheers from his peers. So we'll be there for you, Chris. So we got your back. And then finally, Fightful Select reported that Will Ospreay has been working as a producer for British all-female promotion Pro Wrestling Eve since April of 2024. So if you guys notice, he has been making appearances in that promotion, and yeah, and not to mention, if you guys know this or not, his wife Alex Windsor is also part of that promotion. So it would make sense. So basically, he's not just wrestling in AEW; he's also producing with an all-women's promotion. So it's pretty cool out of his part. So I think that's pretty much it for all of our updates. So let's just call it a day. All right. I hope everybody enjoys this episode coming up. Uh, haven't decided yet. As I always said before, we no longer have AEW Rampage or NXT Level Up, but we will see. But for now, I'm considering to think about more. There are some events. I decided just to start to do the ones for this month, if it's possible, just to get not to worry about the ones from last month. So we'll see about that. So I'll just wing it as always. So for now, I will see you guys in the next DWZ time, same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So goodbye, and have a nice day. Bang.